So what is Peercoin? Well, Peercoin is one of the oldest and longest lasting cryptocurrencies. Its launch date was August 2012. Now, today, as of recording this, this is June 2025, so it's been a little while. Now, the symbol for Piercoin is PPC, and the hash function used is SHA-256. Now, it uses a hybrid consensus model, which is a little bit unique. It's using a combination of both proof of work and proof of stake. That's POW or POS, respectively. So, proof of work is going to be for mining and proof of stake for minting. Piercoin is a pioneer of proof of stake. It's basically the first cryptocurrency to implement proof of stake. And it was one of the very first original cryptocurrencies to come out a long, long time ago. It was really big way back when it first came out. Not as prominent or huge now, but it's been around a long time and will probably continue to remain around for a really long time to come. Now, the mission behind Piercoin was to be highly decentralized, efficient, to have high security, but to do security efficiently. And it didn't necessarily need to have a high volume of transactions. That wasn't necessarily the goal for it. And it was envisioned as like a backbone currency. So what this ended up being is it's something that kind of came along later, but it's what's now thought of as like a settlement layer or a base layer. So settlement layer or base layer blockchain and transactions. So transactions can be processed off the blockchain for horizontal scaling. To do this, you could do this with side chains, and you could also do vertical scaling with layer 2. With like a layer, extra layers on top of the blockchain. An example of this would be the Lightning Network. So, on another layer, you could do a lot of fast transactions, and then they would just come back to the blockchain, and the blockchain records the final settlement of all of these faster transactions. So you could do things in side chains or like a layer 2 chain, like the Lightning Network. So these were kind of envisioned from the beginning. That's where the idea of a settlement layer or base layer comes in. It's where final settlements are recorded. And so that's what was kind of envisioned as a backbone currency. So Piercoin, also another part of the main mission, was to align interests of holders and minters. And so people are holding the coins and the people who are actually mining or minting, their interests would be aligned. And also it's for geo-decentralization. So another idea of proof of stake. You're not going to have like a bunch of mining all centralized in one country or one region or one person who has all the compute power or all the electricity. So if all you have to do is own stake in the currency, it spreads things out geographically a little bit more. So geo decentralization was one of the main themes. So that was part of the main mission, and limited inflation and a sustainable inflation module. We'll talk about that in just a second. So now, a few more core ideas and features of Piercoin are there's the transaction fee burn. So the transaction fee is not actually a reward for miners. It is burnt, so it's just thrown away and lost forever. And this is for the purpose of deflation and to prevent spam, or that's basically what it does. So also staking incentives. There are staking incentives. That's the proof of stake thing. And there's no max coin supply, so coins can keep adding and adding. It's not limited like with Bitcoin. Now, also another core idea is to reduce energy consumption and be environmentally friendly, and for long-term network security, and also to use proof of stake as a security method. So you would need to buy the network to take it over. You'd have to buy out the whole network, or at least 51% of it. So once you get to that point, it's kind of besides the point, I guess. So that's not expected to happen. It's a lot harder than getting all of that compute power. Now, it's also geared towards sustainability, a sustainable blockchain, also a small blockchain that you can just easily download, and low-cost transactions. The transactions aren't supposed to cost too much. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And governance. That's another interesting thing about Piercoin is the governance. So they have a thing called protocol voting, where you can basically basically govern the blockchain, and basically you install a proposed version and start minting with it, and each new minted block is a vote for that version. Now, at the start of Piercoin, when it was first released, there was no pre-mine and no dev tax and no ICO. So it was pretty much fair for everybody. The devs didn't get, they didn't get an advantage there. Now, mining and minting rewards. So transaction fees from user transactions, the actual transaction fees, there are different ways you can handle this. So some cryptocurrencies use the transaction fees as rewards. This is not done in Peercoin, but for example, Bitcoin would use the transaction fees, and Peercoin burns the transaction fees, but Bitcoin, as opposed to Bitcoin, so Bitcoin will actually use those transaction fees as rewards for miners. So for this to work, you need either high volume of transactions or a high price of transactions. In Bitcoin, you end up with a high price of transactions because there's limited transaction capacity due to small block size. This is how they get it to happen. They keep a small block size, so there's a limited transaction capacity, and this creates a fee market. That's how Bitcoin works. So you have something different with Peercoin. You have the block subsidy reward, automatic from the network. And this is basically just your this is for inflation, and people just everyone is given a certain percentage. It's given out to the network and split amongst everyone who has staked their coins. And so that allows you to, once you have this, you have no competition for fees. The block size is not limited, not for price anyways. It's not limited to control the price, but it is limited, but only to deter spam. So they can still keep transactions pretty quick. They can have bigger block sizes, faster transactions, right? So it is slowly more decentralizing over time. That's the other thing. So let's talk about inflation. Inflation is another core idea with Piercoin. So it is meant to be limited and decentralized. So annual inflation is 1%, and this is via minting. So the minting process is meant to cause inflation, and it basically rewards people who are staking their coins, and this is going to reward 1%. So each holder could receive more than 1%, but by default, let's say if everybody staked their coins, each person would get 1%. So if not everybody stakes their coins, there's a possibility that each person could get more than 1%. And usually I think this is supposed to work out to typically be 3 to 5% based on how many people are staking. Now, staking or POS is the way this works is when you stake your coins, it's going to take 30 days for them to start minting. And they have to stay there, and at 90 days, they're going to reach their max minting power. Now, during this period, if you were to move those coins to another wallet or something, all that counting starts over. That the 30 days and the 90 days, it all starts at the beginning. So you got to start over before you can actually start earning rewards for staking your coins. Now, let's talk about some real quick stats on Peercoin. Probably should have mentioned this at the very beginning, but the price around now, it's been trading from anywhere from 27 cents to 28 cents. This is in US dollars, so like 0.27 to 0.28 USD per Peercoin. Now, market cap or market capitalization, market cap is around 8 million USD with around 30 million Peercoins in circulation right now, and volume on the exchanges. So we have moderate daily trading volumes from about 25K to 30K. And I think the last I checked, it was at 21K. So yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. So that is basically that's Peercoin, but let's get a little bit more in depth with it. So how it works. So initially, for POW and POS hybrid model, so initially your Peercoin is mined using proof of work, SHA-256, and as the network grows and as proof of work rewards diminish, proof of stake becomes the primary method of minting coins, and it becomes more of a proof of stake block creation, and that's going to require minimal energy, and it's kind of just going to take over. So over time, it's meant to shift from proof of work to proof of stake. It can do both, and but it's meant to shift over to be more proof of stake. So staking rewards, coin holders can stake or mint their Piercoin, earning, as I said before, 1%, which is really more like 3 to 5% annual returns, while helping secure the network. So you're securing the network and keeping things stable and sustainable while earning rewards. Now, transaction fee, there is a flat fee of for transactions of approximately 0.01 Peercoin per kilobit of data transferred, I think is how that's supposed to work. But this transaction fee is burned. It's not rewarded to miners, as we mentioned before. It is burned, and this is to combat spam and to curb inflation. So this actually, burning this curbs inflation. So the reward from staking will increase inflation, and burning with transaction fees actually curbs inflation. So they work against each other. So depending on how things go, you could technically go one way or the other. So the other thing, monetary policy, it is designed for around 1% inflation per year with no hard cap on supply. And so there's no, they can keep generating, so there's not a set number of Piercoins that will ever exist. And transaction fees act to deflate the supply over time. So they don't view inflation as a bad thing necessarily. It's just, you can't have people wildly printing things like we do with our fiat currencies. It has to be controlled and, basically just controlled and done reasonably, right? So, let's see, why Piercoin keeps both proof of work and proof of stake. Yeah, so proof of work is kept because it's for initial coin distribution. It allows new coins to enter the system in a decentralized way, whereas proof of stake handles long-term network security and efficiency. So it secures the network with low energy use. So those are kind of two different roles there. Now, even today, Piercoin's proof of work rewards are very low, and the majority of blocks are produced by proof of stake. Proof of work will always exist in a limited capacity to maintain an additional layer of decentralization and to allow continued minting of new coins. So, comparison to Bitcoin, let's do one more comparison to Bitcoin, energy efficiency, right? So Piercoin reduces electrical usage by leaning on proof of stake, unlike Bitcoin's proof, which is it has a proof of work heavy design, right? Now, network security, the proof of stake mechanism helps to decentralize influence. So holders, not just miners, govern the network in more ways than just that too. There's also the voting for, you can vote on which version to use too. That's another way that, that holders actually control the network. Or at least users anyways. But, supply dynamics, right? So Bitcoin has a fixed cap of 21 million Bitcoins, whereas Piercoin supply adapts with inflation and burnt fees. So, it offers a steady, sustainable model. So it makes a little bit more sense than Bitcoin in that sense. Now, pros, should be kind of obvious, but, it's very energy efficient. You can stake to earn passive income, 3 to 5% APR usually, and transaction fees support long-term inflation control. And, we have a small blockchain and, cheap, fast transactions, which is really nice. Now, another thing, some of the cons, these are viewed as cons, smaller network and lower liquidity compared to major cryptocurrencies. Now, less maintenance, and less mainstream adoption and fewer development updates. So this used to be a top coin, not so much anymore. It's not at the center of attention anymore. It's still very much active and very much alive and it's an important coin and blockchain to be aware of. Anyways, hopefully this video was informative and you now have a better understanding of what Piercoin is, what the idea behind it is, and what it's all about. I'm not showing you how to use it in this video or getting into specific topics, but just wanted to give you an overview and help people understand what Piercoin is all about. It's interesting to learn about it, and I think it's a pretty terrific, a lot of pretty terrific ideas that come along with it. And even if you only wanted to know about it for historical reasons, I'd say it's pretty important. That said, hopefully you enjoyed watching this. If you like more content like this, remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get updates when we come out with new videos. We're not just doing crypto stuff. Most of the stuff we've done so far, we're actually a Linux heavy channel. We've done a lot of Linux content, but we do other OSs. We do like Mac OS, Windows. We do like coding, servers, systems, AI, like Raspberry Pis, electronics, robots, 3D printing, just anything tech related, including crypto. Trying to get more crypto stuff in there, but any of that stuff, if you're into that stuff, this is the channel for you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, you probably should leave a comment down below. If you have another cryptocurrency you think gets things, does things a little bit better than Piercoin, leave a comment down below letting us know your thoughts. And might want to give me a thumbs up for this video, but that is about it for today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.